Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of visualization.
Ooh, visualization.
It's something I think a lot of people are curious about,
For sure.
but maybe aren't really sure what it is exactly or how to even use it effectively.
Yeah.
So to help us unpack all of this, we've got this awesome transcript
It's
that
a
goes
win.
deep into the science of visualization
Interesting.
and then also how we can actually apply it in our own lives.
I'm excited to dive in.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So to kick things off, maybe we can start by kind of busting some of those common myths about visualization.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that visualization is just about wishing or hoping for something to happen.
Right, like if you just sit there and daydream about something hard enough, it'll magically appear in your life.
Exactly. And the transcript does a great job of debunking that myth.
Yeah, it really emphasizes that visualization is not about being passive. It's about actively training your mind.
Totally. It's like an athlete visualizing themselves making the game-winning shot.
Or a musician picturing themselves performing flawlessly on stage.
Yes. They're not just hoping it will happen. They're using visualization to prepare themselves mentally.
And the transcript actually brings up this super interesting study with basketball players.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Where they had players practice free throws, but only in their minds.
So no ball involved, just pure visualization.
Yep. And the results were pretty amazing.
I bet. So what happened? Did their free throw accuracy actually improve?
It did. And it wasn't just a small improvement either. It was significant enough to show that mental practice alone can have a real impact on performance.
That is so wild.
Uh,
It's like our brains don't know the difference between what we're imagining and what's actually happening in the real world.
right. And the transcript goes into the science behind this, talking about how every time we have a thought, we create neural pathways in our brains.
Oh, those connections between brain cells.
Exactly. And the more we repeat a thought or visualize something, those pathways become stronger and stronger.
Okay, so it's like the more we visualize something, the more ingrained it becomes in our brains.
Exactly. And that's why visualization can be such a powerful tool for change, because it's literally rewiring our brains to support our goals.
This is fascinating.
And get this, the transcript even says that the part of our brain responsible for movement, the motor cortex, is activated during visualization.
So even though we're not physically moving our bodies, our brains are still firing off those signals as if we were.
Right. And there's actually research showing that people can increase their muscle strength just by thinking about exercising.
Wait, really? So they got stronger just by imagining themselves working out?
You got it. It's like our minds have this incredible power to shape our physical reality.
I'm starting to see why people say visualization is like this secret weapon for success.
Totally. And it goes beyond just athletic performance or physical strength.
I bet.
The transcript even talks about how stroke patients have used visualization to help with their recovery.
Now that is incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing to think about how something as simple as our thoughts can have such a profound impact on our bodies and our lives.
Okay, so we've debunked some myths about visualization,
Right.
and we've touched on the science behind it, but how are people actually using visualization in their lives? Like, what are some of the concrete benefits?
Great question. Let's dive into that.
I'm ready.
Okay, so we talked about how visualization can have these really powerful effects
Yeah.
on our brains and our bodies.
For sure.
But I'm curious to get into the nitty-gritty of it. How do we actually use visualization
Right.
to achieve the things we want?
Well, the transcript actually lays out a bunch of different techniques
Cool.
that we can use, and one of the most powerful ones is called mental rehearsal.
Mental rehearsal.
Have you heard of this one?
I think so. It's where you picture yourself doing something over and over again in your mind.
Exactly. Like imagine you have a big presentation coming up.
Okay.
With mental rehearsal, you would basically create a movie in your mind of yourself giving that presentation.
Got it.
And you would see yourself speaking clearly and confidently.
Yeah.
You'd hear the sound of your voice. You'd feel the positive energy from the audience.
And hopefully not too many crickets.
Right. And you'd even picture yourself nailing the Q&A afterwards.
Okay, so it's like you're running through the entire scenario in your mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the more vividly you can picture it, the more effective it will be.
So it's not just about seeing a still image.
Nope. You want to engage all of your senses.
To make it feel as real as possible.
Exactly. Because the more real it feels to your brain, the more likely you are to actually perform that way in real life.
This is making me think about athletes who use visualization.
Oh, yeah, like Michael Phelps.
Yeah, it's like they've already won the race in their minds countless times.
Right. And that mental preparation gives them a huge advantage when they step up to the starting line.
So are there any other techniques that we can use to make visualization more powerful?
Definitely. The transcript also talks about this cool technique called triggered visuals.
Triggered visuals, what's that?
So it's basically like creating a mental shortcut to
Okay.
your goals by
Interesting.
associating them with a specific sight or sound or even a smell.
Oh, I see. So, like, if you wanted to start working out more, you could put a picture of yourself looking super fit on your fridge.
Exactly. That way, every time you go to grab a snack, you're reminded of your goal.
And it might just motivate you to choose a healthier option.
Right. Or maybe you have a particular song that pumps you up and makes you feel unstoppable.
Yeah.
You could listen to that song every time you need a boost of motivation to work towards your goal.
Okay, I'm starting to get this. It's all about creating these like little triggers in your environment
Yeah.
that remind you of what you're working towards.
Exactly. And it's a really powerful way to keep your goals top of mind.
Okay, so we've got mental rehearsal, we've got triggered visuals. Are there any other techniques?
Yep. The transcript also suggests using visual aids like vision boards and note cards.
Oh yeah, vision boards. I've seen those on Pinterest.
Haha. Yeah, they're pretty popular. And for good reason. They're a really great way to get clear on your goals and keep them front and center.
So how do they work exactly?
It's pretty simple. Basically, you just create a collage of images and words
Okay.
that represent what you want to achieve in your life.
So it could be pictures of places you want to travel to.
Yep,
Or maybe like a dream job you're working toward.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you can also add inspirational quotes or affirmations that resonate with
And
you.
then you just put it somewhere where you'll see it every day.
Exactly. Like on your desk or on your bedroom wall.
Mhm.
That way you're constantly reminded of what you're working towards.
Okay, what about note cards? How can those be helpful?
Note cards are great for those who like to keep things like really organized and structured.
Oh, okay.
So you can use note cards to write out your goals.
Okay.
Or maybe even break down your goals into smaller steps.
Makes sense.
And you can also use them to write positive affirmations.
Oh, right. To help combat those negative thoughts that might creep in.
Exactly. You can carry them with you and refer to them whenever you need a little boost.
I love that. It's like having a little pep talk in your pocket.
Right. So whether you're more of a visual person or you prefer things written down,
Yeah.
there's a technique out there for everyone.
I think what's really cool about all of this is that it shows how visualization isn't just like this woo-woo concept.
Yeah.
It's actually a very practical skill that we can all develop.
Absolutely. And the more we practice, the better we become at it.
But the transcript also makes a point of saying that visualization isn't just about techniques.
Right. It's also about cultivating the right mindset.
So what does that mean exactly? Like, what's the visualization mindset?
Well, one of the most important elements is mindfulness and gratitude.
Mindfulness. I hear that word everywhere these days.
It's definitely become a bit of a buzzword.
So what does it actually mean in the context of visualization?
It's all about being present in the moment without judgment,
Okay, so not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future.
right? Just focusing on what's happening right now.
Got it.
And when you combine that present moment awareness with an attitude of gratitude, something really magical happens.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
When you're grateful for the good things in your life, it shifts your focus away from what's wrong or what you lack,
That makes sense.
and it creates a more positive and abundant mindset.
So it's like you're priming your mind to be more receptive to the possibilities that visualization can open up.
Exactly. And the transcript actually says that gratitude helps to counteract negative self-talk.
Oh, which can be a major roadblock for a lot of people.
For sure. If you're constantly putting yourself down, it's going to be really hard to believe in your ability to achieve your goals.
Okay, so mindfulness helps us stay grounded in the present, and gratitude helps us cultivate a more positive outlook. But what about actually taking action?
Right. Visualization isn't just about sitting back and daydreaming.
It's about putting in the work.
Exactly. The transcript emphasizes the importance of proactive action.
So aligning our actions with our vision.
Exactly. You're using visualization to clarify your goals and create a mental roadmap, but then you have to take those inspired ideas and turn them into real-world action.
This is all so insightful. It's like visualization is this powerful tool that can help us unlock our full potential.
It really is. And the cool thing is we've only just scratched the surface.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, we talked earlier about how our brains often can't distinguish between imagination and reality.
Right.
So if visualization is that powerful, what other applications might we be overlooking?
Ooh, that's a really good question. What if we could use visualization to not only achieve our own goals, but to actually shape the world around us in a more positive way?
That's a beautiful thought. And it speaks to the truly limitless potential of the human mind.
This has been such a mind-expanding deep dive.
It really has.
I feel like I've gained a whole new understanding of what visualization is and how it can be used to create real positive change in our lives.
Me too. And I hope that everyone listening feels inspired and empowered to start exploring the incredible power of their own minds.
Before we go, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought-provoking question. If our brains can't always distinguish between imagination and reality, what other amazing possibilities might we be overlooking? What if we could use visualization to not only achieve our goals, but to actually shape the world around us in a positive way? I feel like we could talk about this all day.
Yeah, there's so much to explore.
But for the sake of our listeners' time, maybe we should start wrapping things up.
That's good.
So if someone is listening to this right now and they're thinking, okay, I'm ready to give this visualization thing a try,
Yeah.
what would be your advice to them? Like, how do they actually get started?
I think the most important thing is to just start simple. Don't overthink it.
Okay.
Just pick one specific goal or area of your life
Okay.
where you'd like to see some improvement.
So it could be anything from like wanting to be more confident,
Yep.
or maybe like improving your performance at work.
Exactly. Or even just something like wanting to feel less stressed.
Okay. And then once you have that goal in mind,
Then you can start experimenting with some of the techniques we talked about.
okay, so like the mental rehearsal,
Yep.
we're creating a vision board.
Exactly. Find what resonates with you and then just start incorporating it into your daily routine.
And it doesn't have to be like a huge time commitment, right?
Not at all. Even just 5 or 10 minutes a day can make a big difference.
Okay, that's good to know. Because I think sometimes people get intimidated by the idea of like having to meditate for an hour every day.
Right. But the key is consistency. It's better to do a little bit each day than to try to do a lot all at once and then burn yourself out.
Totally. So pick a technique you enjoy.
Yeah.
Start small.
Yep.
And be consistent.
Exactly. And remember, visualization is a skill. It takes practice, just like anything else.
So even if you don't see results right away,
Yeah.
don't give up.
Keep at it.
Yeah.
And over time, you'll start to notice a shift in your mindset and in your life.
This has been such an incredible deep dive. I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too. It's amazing to think that we all have this power within us to create the lives we want.
And it all starts with our thoughts.
That's right. Our thoughts create our reality.
So choose them wisely.
Well said.
Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the world of visualization.
It was my